welcome back to Lisa's Study Guides. We are in the middle of our analysing arguments segment. Today we're going to be talking about introduction. If you haven't watched any of the videos prior to this one, then link up above, playlist down below for you. We have been focusing on the 2016 VCAA sample. No, it's not it's not a sample exam, it's the actual exam. So I know that a lot of you will probably be, analysing this in your own time and writing up essays, especially in preparation for your exam at the end of the year. But I wanted to go through this with you now just so that you have an idea of what examiners are looking for, especially if your SAC is coming up soon. So I wanted to make a shout out to Sarah. Thank you so much. She's one of my tutors who has very kindly lent us one of her essays that she wrote on this particular analysis. And so yeah, let's just start off and we'll talk about what's required in an introduction. So for an analysing argument introduction, it's pretty straightforward. There are certain things that you are always looking for. The first one being title, author, publisher, date of publishing, type of article, and the contention. Depending on what school you go to, your teacher might recommend you to talk about the tone or even the target audience. So I would recommend just do what your teacher requires of you and asks of you. In terms of the exam, that's up to you to decide what it is you are happy to cover in your introduction. For example, you might make the choice of saving the tone for a discussion later in your body paragraphs where you feel you can go into a lot more detail rather than just a brief statement about what the tone is in the introduction. So I think that is very much a personal choice and that's up to you to decide. The other thing to remember is not every single article is going to have all details available for you. For example, if you don't have the author's name, then what are you gonna do? You just have to write the author or the writer, but just stick with it as long as you say the author, or the writer. Don't change it around. It makes it confusing for your examiner. Just, choose one and stick with it. There are certain things though that should always be there. For example, you should always be able to identify the type of article that you're looking at. It might not say that it's an opinion article or it might not say that it's an editorial, but you need to be able to figure that out. So make sure that you do your homework in regards to what makes certain articles an opinion article, what makes an article an editorial, what makes it a letter to the editor. I mean, that one's pretty obvious, yeah? But it's just those kind of things that will really help you to ensure that you have nailed down exactly the type of article. So here's an example from Sarah's essay. The issue of how to attract tourists to the town of Lawton has arisen after the highway on which it was situated became diverted, rendering the town isolated. So what she's done here is opened up with a background statement or a contextual statement. This is basically just one sentence where you just need to talk about what's happening. Why have we got an issue at hand? Often you'll find the background information is really helpful in helping you with this. So make sure that you utilize and capitalize on that data there rather than just going straight into your article. The mayor of Lawton, Alexandra Wiley, contends in her opinion piece in the town's local newspaper that an attraction that embodies the succulent fruit and vegetables that the town is renowned for producing should be erected. So already here we can see that it is an opinion piece, so that has satisfied that criterion. We've got a local newspaper, so that's basically just where it's published. We've got the author's name and we've got her contention as well. So you can see that Sarah has really nailed out a lot of the things that are required of her just within one sentence, and that's all we expect from you guys. Don't go on and on in your introduction. Keep it short and snappy and move into the analysis because that's where the juicy stuff is and where you can really show off your skills. She reasons that such a landmark will attract tourists in order for Lawton to gain recognition. Cool, so that's an extension of the contention. In contrast to this, Ian Warwick, the president of the Lawton Progress Association, asserts in a letter to the editor that rather than investing in a monstrosity of a tourist attraction, the council should focus on ameliorating the cultural aspects of Lawton. So what we've done here is we've now introduced Article 2. In a very similar sense, it's just one sentence covering all the information that's required of you in an introduction. So we've got Ian Warwick, which is the author's name. We've got a letter to the editor, which is the type of article. Then we've got the contention as well. You'll notice that we don't have dates, and we don't have tones, and we don't have target audience. For the dates, there's pretty much no date that was written in front of us in the article, so that's completely okay. If the information isn't there, well, you're not gonna, force it to be there and make it out of thin air. Just ignore it, move on. Include what you can, basically. And I know that Sarah then went on to talk about tone later and audience later in her body paragraph, so I can understand why that's not there either. Similarly, cartoonist Gary Shaw is also in opposition to Wiley's proposal, suggesting that the town will lose its diversity, being admired merely for its single attraction. And so we've introduced our third article, or in this case, a cartoon. We've got cartoonist, which is written in a way that describes Gary Shaw, but also it indicates the type of article that it is. We've got Gary Shaw, who is the author, and the contention as well. The interesting part to all of this is how there are elements of comparison. So you can see that in contrast to this, similarly, in opposition to Wiley's proposal. So already from the get-go in the introduction, Sarah is starting to compare the articles and to bring them together. Imagine how awkward and weird it would be if you just went from Wiley in one sentence to Warwick in the next sentence and then Shaw in the next sentence. It's just like, where is the connection? So very easily modified by just adding comparative word, like in contrast to this, or similarly, or likewise, or despite, or whatever. There are so many words out there, just jump on a thesaurus and find them. As you can see, this introduction is only 4 sentences long, and that's how long we need it to be. We don't need it to be any longer than this and, plumped up with lots of, flowery language or excess information. That's not required. Just get into your body paragraphs. So this one's actually a pretty short video, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna leave it there for you guys. If you've got any question, leave them in the comment section below. If you have found this helpful, then you may find my study guide, which is that one there, the Ultimate English Study Guide, really helpful for you. Basically, 1/3 of that book is focused on analyzing argument. In there, we cover single article, double article, and triple article analyses. And we've got sample essays for all 3 of them, just so that you can see and understand exactly how to go ahead with these articles, how to structure them, how to plan them, prepare them, and how to write them. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.